Trump versus Iran.
This is CBN News Watch.
Thanks for joining us for CBN News Watch.
So hopefully we get some information about what he thinks about the Iran issue. He should have already attacked Iran and taken them out, because, I don't know, we get all kinds of crazy reports where it's like 10,000 have been killed, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. We don't know what's going on because the internet's out. Their phones are out. They can't show anybody in the rest of the world what's going on over there. But Trump should have done something. But this is Trump talking about Iran. Here we go.
I'm Wendy Griffith. Today is Thursday, January 29th. The Middle East entering a critical moment as the United States and Iran trade sharp rhetoric. Israel is closing a chapter with the return of the last hostage from Gaza, while a new report reveals a surge in global anti-Semitism. Middle East correspondent Joshua Swanson has our top story from Jerusalem.
There are reports this morning that Iran's failure to respond to President Trump's calls to negotiate on limiting its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile program has the president considering a military strike to create conditions for regime change in Iran. In a Truth Social post Wednesday, Trump said a massive armada is headed to Iran, calling on Tehran to negotiate immediately. He urged Iran to come to the table and agree to no nuclear weapons. Trump also issued a stark warning, saying if Iran does not make a deal, the next strike would be far worse than Operation Midnight Hammer, last year's attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. The Iranians reportedly rejected those conditions, responding with hostile rhetoric. Iran's foreign minister responded on social media, saying Iranian forces are prepared to immediately and powerfully respond. A senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader warned that any U.S. military move would be met with an immediate and unprecedented response, including strikes on Tel Aviv. Hezbollah's leader says the group is also preparing to retaliate in the event of a U.S.-Israel attack on Iran.
Did you lose a lot of money sports betting on DraftKings or FanDuel? You may qualify for
When Trump or anyone else threatens to kill the leader, that means he's threatening tens of millions. We are committed to carrying out all the measures and preparations to confront this threat.
In Israel, the last hostage held in Gaza has now been laid to rest, and the clock in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square has been turned off. The sister of hostage Ron Gavili described what the moment meant to her family.
On October 7th, the clock didn't stop. Our clock stopped. Ronnie went out, fought, saved, kidnapped, and returned. And now we can really stop this clock for a moment, and we can move forward.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke at Ron Gavili's funeral, saying the return of the last hostage marks a transition in Israel's mission.
We achieved what we had prepared for 843 days, to bring all our brothers and sisters home. We're also committed to our other goals, disarming Hamas, demilitarizing the Gaza Strip, and we will achieve this as well.
A new report from Israel's Ministry of Diaspora Affairs warns of a sharp rise in anti-Semitism, recording 815 severe incidents in 2025, including the murder of 21 Jews, up from just one in 2024. The highest numbers were in the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Australia, and Canada. That growing threat may have been seen last night in New York, where authorities are investigating a possible hate crime after a man repeatedly rammed his car into the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters while people were gathered for prayer. Police say it is too early to determine motive, but Mayor Mamdani said the city is taking the threat seriously.
Any threat to a Jewish institution or place of worship must be taken seriously. Anti-Semitism has no place in our city.
Joshua Swanson, CBN News.
And we have, the problem is we have Mamdani. He promoted all these particular things he was going to do to get into this position. Once in the position and he won the vote, probably majority from Somali or Muslim Israeli voters who are legal, but they can vote anyway in New York. If you're illegal, you can vote in New York, just so you know. And other things have changed. So everything he said he was running for, he has not come through on. And now we have this problem going on in New York. don't forget, we have the police being defunded. We have Muslims all over New York causing scenes. And this is from Mamdani. But you know what? You fucking voted for him. So fucking live it. You voted for him. Deal with it.
News, Jerusalem.
Enjoy it.
And our CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell is with us now from Jerusalem. Chris, great to see you as always. Chris, let me ask you, is President Trump sending mixed signals, and why?
Well, he does seem to be doing that, Wendy, and it really seems to be similar to how we handled Iran's nuclear program last year. That was in Midnight Hammer, came in June of 2025. He first gave them an ultimatum. He actually gave them a timetable. He showed he was willing to make a deal, willing to actually talk to the Islamic regime, but also ready to use military action if necessary. And as Joshua's report said, an armada is on the way, according to President Trump, and we've been reporting those military actions for a couple of weeks now. So he's keeping his options openly. Reportedly, he's unsure about a military strike actually toppling the regime, but he's also said it's time to look for new leadership there. Some people would say this is strategic ambiguity, but others believe even if a strike doesn't lead to a fall immediately, it will certainly in the future lead to the fall of what many people have been praying for and hoping for a long time.
Well, Chris, Iran has attacked Israel with hundreds of ballistic missiles in the past 2 years. Are people there in Israel preparing for a possible retaliation strike by Iran?
Wendy, the simple answer is yes. Preparing. The IDF spokesman is saying they're preparing offensively and defensively. Israel is on high alert, but surprisingly, life goes on as usual. People are going to home, going to work.
So life goes on. And that's a shitty comment. Is people are getting murdered left and right for no reason other than politics. But this guy is stating life goes on. Shitty response to this.
Work, going to school. I would say describe what's here is resilient but calm and alert. You have to realize, Wendy, that Israel's been going through this several times in the last 2 years, April of 2024, October of 2024, and then last June of 2025, when hundreds of ballistic missiles, drones, UAVs were shot at Israel. Thankfully, most of those were shot down. And in the meantime, the Home Front Command does have emergency procedures in place. And I would say, really, there's no panic here in Israel, but preparation based on their experience and resilience for the past 2 years.
And what about Syria? Chris, what's at stake in this conflict for northeast Syria right now?
You know, Wendy, if Iran wasn't on the table right now, this would be the main story in the Middle East. It could lead to the fall of northeast Syria, where there was an autonomous region for more than 10 years. It was a democratic government. What it means is that thousands of people are literally fleeing for their lives right now. There's one city called Kobani that's surrounded right now. People are trying to survive in deprivation and very cold conditions. They're in harm's way. It also represents, Wendy, the fight against ISIS. And many people see they're seeing the rise of ISIS and the expansion of the Syrian government that is really influenced or controlled by this jihadist army that's backed by Turkey. Some people are looking that this could be the return of the caliphate, room for ISIS to rise again. It also means who's going to control key oil fields in northeast Syria, and also who's going to influence millions of civilians. We do know that Capitol Hill in D.C. is starting to pay attention.
So in long term, just to sum it up, no one's going to help them. No one's going to help them. Trump, with his idle threats, he moves a war fleet into Iran seas just to say, hey, look, we're here. We could do something about it. We can take you out in a heartbeat. But he does nothing. Meanwhile, thousands of people are being killed in Iran. And right now, I'm sympathetic to Iran because we have 1.5 to 2 million people, out in the streets every day protesting against their government. And they're burning things down. They're destroying this, destroying. They're revolting against the company. Not the company, but against the regime. The Iran regime. But America is just sitting back idle. Now, we complain about the fact that we're tired of America getting involved in wars. But we have a chance to go into Iran and take this fucker out and change Iran. It'll change the Middle East in many ways that you can't believe, you can't understand. Do it. Just fucking do it. What are you waiting for? Go and attack, get this guy out of here, and change Iran. The people are begging for America to do something. They're begging for Trump to do something. So just fucking do it. Do it! Now! Alright. So last one is that Trump is literally talking about giving out refunds to everybody. $2,000. I don't think this money is what he thinks it is. $2,000 will cover maybe 1 month for most people. So he was willing to give $100,000 to Greenland citizens if he bought Greenland. But in America, $2,000. So what's $2,000 going to do for me? It might cover 1 month of bills. 1 month of bills for me is just under $3,000. $2,000 won't do shit. But if you want to give $100,000 to Greenland people, why can't you give us at least $25,000? $2,000 does not mean shit. It doesn't do anything for any of us.
Well, thank you very much. I think you probably noticed the cabinet room is getting more and more beautiful. You can see the flags behind us of the different forces and the American flag.
We don't care.
Various others.
We don't
I think
care.
Quite spectacular. It's never looked this good. And hopefully we're going to do work that's never been as good. So I think that's basically what's happened in our first year. We've had an amazing year, and this will be our first cabinet after the year, so we're starting our second year. Tremendous progress has been made. I want to thank my entire cabinet for 12 months of unprecedented achievements. We really have. I mean, it's unprecedented. The numbers we've had on the economy and growth, you see them. And that's despite a Democrat shutdown. Without the shutdown, we would have picked up about 1.5 points more than already high numbers, record-setting numbers. So this has been, I think, and a lot of people say it, the most successful year of any administration in American history. First year.
So he states all this, but how has it affected you? How did it affect you? It didn't affect me at all. I haven't filed my taxes yet. I'm going to do that probably tomorrow or the next day. But how did what he did affect you today or this year? It didn't. It affected nothing. So whatever he states, take with a grain of salt, because nothing has been done to affect everyday American citizens.
There's never been a first year like this, including the fact that we put out, extinguished 8 wars, and another one we think is coming.
It's really good to see you back where you belong.
Where you are is where I belong.
Steve Witkoff's working very hard, and Jared and everybody else, and I think it's coming.
Care.
It was just announced that the murder rate in our country is the biggest drop ever recorded. It's at the lowest level in 125 years.
The murder
First
rate
in
is
recorded
down. That's
history,
cool.
it's the lowest in at least 125 years.
The murder rate is down. That's cool. That's great. So when you go out to go to the store, you can feel less intimidated that you're going to be shot in the head to go get a coffee at Wawa. But what are you doing that's helping us save money and earn extra money from working? What are you doing?
Wonderful thing. And the crime is way down. And one of the reasons was we've taken a lot of bad people and gotten them out of our country. In some cases, they're so bad that we put them in prison because we don't want them to even take a chance of coming back in, even though our border is very secure, record-setting secure.
Yeah.
We had zero illegal aliens being admitted into our country for the last 8 months. That's hard. That's hard for even me to believe. But the people that make up the lists are supposedly nonpartisan, but I would say they lean toward the Democrat side. And if they say that, I'm all for it. As you know, we've had a situation take place with respect to Venezuela. I want to just thank General Kane and his staff. The job that they've done is incredible. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And once it did take place, I want to thank the leadership of Venezuela. We're getting along really well with them. The relationships have been very strong, very good. And they have informed me that they feel there's very good security, very strong security. We're working with the various people involved, including Chris and Doug and everybody on the oil. We have the major oil companies going to Venezuela now, scouting it out and picking their locations, and they'll be bringing back tremendous wealth for Venezuela and for the United States, and the oil companies will do fine too. Venezuela will actually make for themselves more money than they've ever made before, and that's a good thing. And the people of Venezuela were, were literally in the streets waving American flags. They were so happy. And the people in our country, like in the Doral section of Miami, which is considered little Venezuela, they're thrilled. And I just spoke to the president of Venezuela, informed her that we're going to be opening up all commercial airspace over Venezuela. American citizens will be very shortly able to go to Venezuela, and they'll be safe there. They'll be safe. It's under very strong control. And the people of formerly of Venezuela, some want to go back. And
that's great. It's great that you are helping out the people of Venezuela. But how about the people in your own country? How about America? People can't find a job. People are homeless. They're going to lose their home. People's salaries are far below what they should be paid for the amount of work they're doing. Taxes are killing people. Like, what are you doing about this? Nobody cares about other countries. We care about America and what's happening here. Nobody fucking cares about Venezuela.
Some want to go back to visit, and they're going to be able to do that. So I've instructed Sean Duffy and everybody else concerned, including the military, that if you would, by the end of today, I'd like you to have the airspace over Venezuela. Planes can go to Venezuela opened up. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I want to thank all of the people in Venezuela for what they went through, and I want to thank the leadership for really they're doing a good job. And just as I promised, we've defeated the Biden inflation nightmare and achieved explosive new economic growth. The Atlanta Fed is predicting an astounding 5.4% GDP growth in the fourth quarter, and that's despite the fact that we had a Democrat shutdown. We would have had...
That's great. And again, how does this affect the normal American person? You wake up to an alarm clock, you get up, you get dressed, you go to work, you work a 8 to 12 hour day, you come home, you do that 5 to 6 days a week, and your taxes come out of your paycheck. All that work you do, the government is taking money out of your paycheck. And that money goes to where? Where's that money going? You could argue that all you want, but where's that money going? No one knows where that money goes. But you're paying that money out of your check after working all those fucking hours. when he can figure that out, then I care. When he can talk about that, I care. I don't care about Venezuela. I don't care about other countries. I care about America and the people that live in America that are struggling to live every day, that may lose their home next month. They may lose heat next month. They may lose their car next month. So what are you doing about that?
That number would have been 7%, which is a number nobody's ever heard of. And we've been given great national security because of tariffs, and we've also been given unprecedented income because of tariffs. Part of the income that we gave, $12 billion, we gave to the farmers of our country, so that yesterday was up in...
Okay, great for the farmers, but what about everybody else who's not a farmer? That's great. There are less farmers than regular people out there working every day. What are you doing about that?
Iowa, and they were very happy, Madam Secretary.
Yes, sir.
They were very, very happy. They were great. So the GDP growth in the fourth quarter was great, and it's going to be, I think we're going to have an amazing and incredible year. Hopefully we won't have a shutdown. We're working on that right now. I think we're getting close. The Democrats, I don't believe, want to see it either.
So you have a government shutdown, possibly in a couple days. You're the president of the United States. Why can't you stop that? Why can't you stop that? And once that shutdown happens, nothing happens. Right? You can't pass any bills. Why isn't the president of the United States doing something about this? He's controlled.